How did you see the crash from your point of view?
Well, I mean, it was a massive overspeed, 50 kph, which is a real, it's a part of these new regulations that I guess we have to get used to. But also, I felt like I wasn't really given much space, given the huge excess speed that I was carrying, and it's something that we spoke about on Friday with the other drivers and the stewards, that we need to be a bit more lenient, a bit more prepared because of these huge deltas in speed, and I think we've, as a group, warned the FAA what can happen, and this has been a really unfortunate result of a massive delta speed that we've never seen before in F1 until these new regulations.
Do you think the timing of the safety car cost you the win?
I would have loved to have seen how it would have panned out. I think I need to look back and see how, whether Kimi was quicker than George or similar pace. I think if he was the same pace as George, then it would have been a pretty stressful afternoon, because I probably would have had both of them right on my gearbox. I mean, I think once Kimi had clean air, clearly he was a lot faster than me. So I'm not sure we would have won the race, but I certainly would have loved to have found out.
It sounds like you and the team are just understanding your car and these cars much better right now.
Yes, I think, to be honest, we probably surprised ourselves a bit with how well we were able to hang on. I think, if anything, obviously once Kimi got clean air, it was way quicker than everyone, but the fact that I could even keep George behind and the Ferraris, we thought the Ferraris would be incredibly strong. So the fact that we could keep them behind and kind of, not super comfortably, but comfortable enough.
There were some moves, there were some great moves, there were some battles, but overall, what was your impression of your race today?
Pretty terrible, ultimately, because I was P3 and ended up going backwards. But just need to understand where I was losing all the power. I just had a real lack of power through it, particularly the second stint. But majority of the race, even from the beginning, I couldn't keep up with people just for the lack of power.
I think it's quite clear that it can't ever happen in Formula One ever again. Especially when at this circuit, however many years ago, we lost of life. So it's a bit crazy. It's like I really don't understand how it's happened. I don't know who okayed it and who allowed it to happen or whatever, but we risk enough by trying to go out there and put on the show. Like you couldn't see anything, and I literally mean nothing. And we're taking enough risks in those conditions. So when you have something like this, it's just mind-blowing to me how someone can choose to do that. And they don't know the consequences, obviously, that it can have on us. So, I don't think many conversations need to be had, especially from us drivers. I think we've made it clear. It should be pretty simple on how to...
Hey, Arvid, well, the safety car didn't really work out in your favour today. Just sum up how you're feeling right now.
A bit disappointed. Started P10. I think I was running P8 after a lap or two. And then I think there was a few things I could have managed better on the energy side in the battle with Max and Esteban on that first stint. So I lost those two places there. And then I was settling into a nice rhythm before the stop. Did the pit stop. It was a bit slow. So I lost the place to Isaac. And then the safety car came out and I lost another 3 or 4. So... it's a bit of a shame, but I think regardless, there's still a lot to learn. Still a lot for me to improve on, so I'm going to focus on that. It hasn't been an easy week with, quite a lot of issues, P2, P3 again now with the safety car, but I think I'm not going to look at it on like a luck side because I don't believe in this. I'm going to focus on what I could have done better and take that forward to Miami.
So how have you, kind of looking back on these last 3 races, we're going to have a bit of a break. Are you pleased with at least what you've been able to try and get out of it from your personal perspective?
I think so. I mean, I think I've done some. I think I've showed a few wow moments. I think I showed that in Melbourne, even in China. To go to a new track, a sprint weekend, do no FP, and be basically the same as my teammate in qualifying this week to get into Q3. I think I've showed what I can do, and yeah, I'm impressed with the performances that I've put in, but then obviously to be expected with, as a rookie with such new cars, such different ways of having to drive, there's things for me to work on and improve. So I'm very much looking at it from a side of, I know I have the ability, I know that I can do it, but there's stuff to work on, and I'm going to look at it that way.
And how difficult was that race just as the way it unfolded?
I mean, everything that could go wrong did go wrong. Obviously, we both made bad starts. Mine was slightly less bad. Safety car timing. Restart, I got a harvest limit, which meant I couldn't recharge my battery. Similar to what's happened to some drivers at the race starts. And I had no battery to restart. Lewis passed me, and then faced another battery problem when Charles passed me.
Hey George, it felt like you were in a bit of a world of pain from the beginning of that session, really uncomfortable. What happened? What went wrong?
Right now we don't really know, to be honest. We made a small adjustment to the rear suspension going into qualifying. It's tiny, and suddenly the car just was transformed for the worse, and then I started getting these weird vibrations from the rear, so I'm hoping something was not right and we're able to solve it, but it was really odd.
So did it improve through quali or not?
No,
really?
I just got used to it. Okay. I just got used to it, drove around it. I could then adjust the front wing to compensate, but the car was just totally out of balance from the entry of the corners to the mid corner, because the rear was moving around on the entry, so I had to drop loads of front wing. Then I was getting understeer at the apex. So yeah, really difficult session. Bit annoying. It's been 2 weeks in a row now where I'm in China. I was much more competitive, and then it went wrong in Q3. Here I felt pretty confident after practice, and then it was wrong. It was bad for the whole session. So yeah, I need to get on top of it.
To the FIA too.
Yeah, that's why I was so surprised, when they said, no, we will sort out qualifying and leave the racing alone, because it's exciting. As drivers, we've been extremely vocal that the problem is not only qualifying, it's also racing, and we've been warning that this kind of accident was always going to happen. Here we were lucky there was escape road. Now imagine going to Baku or going to Singapore or going to Vegas and having this kind of closing speeds and crashes next to the walls. We as GPDA, we've warned the FIA these accidents are going to happen a lot with this set of regulations, and we need to change something if soon if we don't want them to happen. And it was 50G, I heard. It's higher than my crash in Russia in 2015. I was 46G. Just imagine what kind of crash you could have in Vegas, Baku, etc. And also, I hope it serves as an example and the teams listen to the drivers and not so much to the teams and people that said the racing was okay, because the racing is not okay.
Did it feel any better deployment-wise in quali, and how much do you think it is costing you?
Well, the only reference I have is to my teammate, and it's around 3 to 5 tenths depending on the lap. And I think from a qualifying perspective, nothing has changed. Not for us. I think we need bigger changes, because it's a shame. You come here and Suzuka is the best circuit in the world, and it hasn't been that enjoyable. Because we are recharging a lot through Sector 1 and stuff. So I really hope that in the coming races we are able to figure out something better for qualifying, because at the moment we are too energy dependent, and hopefully we can find some good changes.
How was your race today? Did you feel some improvements this weekend with the updates or not? But it's early to say.
I don't think it was very good. I mean, yesterday was a disaster. Today in the race I just maximized my race, but the feeling in the car is exactly the same as qualifying. Just trying to hang on to it basically in the race.
What will you do this month without F1, Max?
I'll do some more racing, but some stuff that makes me smile, and at the same time speak to the team as well to try and find more pace and just a more stable balance, because this is not sustainable for us as well as a team, I think. So we need to work hard to understand our problems and of course bring improvements.
Can I ask you if in this particular moment you are more frustrated by the limitation of this F1 of your cars?
No, listen, I mean, you can have a bad balance, but that of course doesn't take away how we have to race and in general the whole system. But I commented on that already a few times, you know, so that is the limitation. I think a lot of drivers are speaking out on it. That is of course the biggest one for me. I mean, of course I would like to win, but I can also accept if I'm driving P7, you know. It's just the way I'm driving P7 with the systems and everything, it's not a lot of fun.
Grazie, grazie Max.